There comes a moment in history when the air itself feels heavier. When the clouds don't just carry rain, they carry revelation. And if you're quiet enough, still enough, honest enough, you can feel it. That strange tension in the atmosphere, that subtle shift in time. The calendar turned, but so did something else, something unseen. The prophets aren't shouting anymore, they're whispering. Because the next sound you hear may not be a warning, but a trumpet. You've seen the wars, you've watched the systems crumble. You've felt the world spiral, inch by inch, degree by degree. And yet the world says, peace, peace. But there is no peace. You thought it would be louder. You thought the final sign would come with fire from the sky. But it came quietly, unmistakable for those watching, invisible to those asleep. The last prophetic sign before the rapture just happened. And most of the church didn't flinch. Not a stir in the pews, not a tremble in the soul. But you felt something, didn't you? You can't explain why the dreams have dried up, why the laughter around you feels staged, why your soul is restless in the night. You can't name it, but you know it. Something eternal just passed over us, a threshold crossed in the heavens, and now everything on earth is reacting. The news won't report it, the leaders won't speak it, the crowds won't see it, but heaven knows, hell knows. And somewhere deep down, you know. And if you walk away from this moment unchanged, you may never recover the chance again, because we are not waiting for the last sign. It already came. And silence is now a decision. Subscribe now. Ignoring this moment is spiritual negligence. If you won't subscribe, step into the comments and explain why. Let the world see your hesitation. Let heaven see your answer. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too late. The world may have labeled you by your scars, but heaven has always called you by your assignment. You were never meant to blend in. You were never created to bow to culture. You were carved from eternity for such a time as this. You think your failures disqualified you. You think your age exempted you. You think your silence made heaven forget. But you are still on heaven's scroll. You are still marked by the blood of the Lamb. You are still filled with breath because your assignment is not complete. There is a reason your heart still beats through the noise. There is a reason you can't ignore the trembling of the hour. There is a reason you feel the weight of something larger than yourself. You were born for now, not for yesterday's revival, not for tomorrow's speculation. For now, this final hour, this unfolding chapter, this divine collision. You are not overlooked. You are not underqualified. You are not irrelevant. You are a voice that hell hoped would stay silent. You are a vessel designed to carry fire, not just survival. You are a warrior. Heaven trained in the shadows for public obedience. You've asked, why am I still here? Because your very existence in this moment is a threat to darkness. You carry oil. You carry wisdom. You carry the kind of history with God that breaks chains. You were not meant to retire. You were meant to reignite. Others may have bowed. You didn't. Others may have sold out. You didn't. Others may have let go. But here you are, still standing. Wounded maybe, but awake. Quiet maybe, but aware. Don't you see? You've been hidden for a reason. Preserved, not ignored. Held back, not dismissed. Because God saves his most refined voices for the final act. And now the curtain is lifting. This world isn't spinning out of control. It's spinning into prophecy. And your role in it isn't optional, it's ordained. You are a witness to the end of an age, a light to the generation that forgot God, a living answer to prayers that were whispered decades ago. The fire on your life was not meant for storage, it was meant to burn in plain sight. You are chosen, you are commissioned, you are accountable. This is not a suggestion, it's a summons. Subscribe if you believe your life still carries a heavenly mission. If you don't, tell us in the comments what you lost that made you forget your fire. Too many have mistaken comfort for peace, wrapped themselves in ease, thinking the still waters mean safety. But peace without the sword of discernment is a dangerous illusion. It's like the foolish virgins waiting with empty lamps, believing the bridegroom delays, only to find the door shut when the trumpet sounds. Others have settled for silence when God called them to shout. They've buried prophetic voices under layers of fear and people-pleasing, choosing quiet approval over thunderous obedience. Like the watchman who slumbered while the enemy approached, they missed the moment when the walls were breached. Some feed distractions as if they were spiritual nourishment, filling their days with noise, and more noise, while their discernment starves in the wilderness. They scroll endlessly but pray sparingly, loving convenience more than conviction. Then there are those clinging to crowds instead of consecration, mistaking popularity for holiness, confusing quantity of followers for quality of faith. But the Laodicean church was lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, and its fate warns us what happens when we refuse to be set apart. And the routine. Oh, the routine, the lullaby of spiritual sleep. Day after day, church after church, prayers without passion, service without sacrifice. It numbs the soul and dulls the spirit, turning vibrant fire into cold ash. Each of these traps steals your edge. They rob you of clarity, courage, and conviction. They build cages from comfort, distractions, and fear, and call it normal. But you weren't made for normal. You were made for kingdom disruption, for holy unrest, for prophetic clarity. If you see these traps in yourself or those around you, don't ignore the warning signs. Awakening begins with awareness. Subscribe if you've seen these traps in yourself or your circle. If you're still asleep, drop a comment and tell us what's numbing you. Experience is not a weight holding you down. It is your authority. Every scar on your soul, every trial etched into your spirit, is a mark of divine preparation. You are not too old to lead. You are not too worn to fight. Your history with God is your power. Remember Moses, called at 80, leading a nation out of bondage when others thought his season was over. Remember Anna, the prophetess who waited in the temple for decades, her faith unwavering, until the Messiah appeared in her sight. Remember Paul, beaten, imprisoned, shipwrecked, yet fiery to the last breath, writing letters that still shake the foundations of the church. These were not men and women who retired quietly. They were refined by fire, not retired by age. Their battle scars were not signs of defeat, but badges of honor. Each wound was a story, each hardship a testament to a spirit that would not be silenced. Your scars don't disqualify you, they authorize you. You are a seasoned warrior, sharpened by storms and steady in the tempest. The battlefield is not for the inexperienced, it is for the proven. And here you stand, battle-tested, faith-tested, Spirit-led. The enemy wants you to believe the fight is over for you. He wants you to believe your best days are behind you. But your best days are now, because the Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. And resurrection power does not age or fade. This is not spiritual retirement. This is refinement. A sacred season where the fire within burns brighter than ever. A time to step out, speak up, and shake the heavens. You are not called to fade away. You are called to ignite. The church needs your wisdom. The lost need your voice. The harvest needs your hands. Subscribe if this stirs your old fire back to life. Or comment while you're still on the fence. Just know that fence won't exist when the trumpet sounds. There will come a time when the noise around you grows deafening. Voices clamoring for your attention, demands pulling at your time, expectations weighing heavy on your heart. In that storm, know this. You have permission to say no. You weren't called to entertain the world, to be everyone's everything, or to fill every silence with words. You were called to ignite a fire so pure, so fierce, it burns away distractions and consumes the darkness. Being misunderstood is part of the journey. The prophets were mocked, the saints were scorned, and the faithful were often alone. This is not a sign you failed. It is a mark of your consecration. When you choose silence over compromise, solitude over the crowd, you are not withdrawing, you are preparing. Guard your oil. Protect that sacred flame within you from the winds of gossip, the rain of distraction, and the cold of people-pleasing. Your spirit is a lamp lit by heaven itself. Do not let it flicker out because you tried to please those who do not understand your calling. Let your no be sacred, not harsh, not bitter, just firm and holy. There is power in setting boundaries. It is not rejection, it is obedience. Obedience to the voice that called you before you were born. smaller circles, quieter rooms, deeper prayers. These are not signs of weakness but of strength. In solitude, the voice of God becomes clearer. In separation, your vision sharpens. You weren't meant to run with the crowd but to blaze a trail ahead of it. This call to sacred separation is the pathway to courage. It is the place where your true power is cultivated, where your purpose finds clarity, and where your legacy begins. Subscribe if you feel the call to sacred separation. If fear is still louder than faith, say so in the comments. We'll stand in the gap. Your life is not just a story unfolding. It is a message written across the ages. Every decision you make, every word you speak, is a thread woven into the fabric of eternity. Your yes does not simply pass unnoticed. It echoes into eternity, carrying power far beyond what you can see. Your no is not a whisper. It shakes hell itself, pushing back darkness and tearing down strongholds. You are a hinge, a pivotal point between what is and what will be. You stand at the intersection of the now and the next generation. What you sow today, whether faith, courage, or sacrifice, will grow into a mighty forest for those who come after you. Your life is a sermon, preached without words, understood in the tremble of your faith, the steadfastness of your love. Your tears shed in secret are seeds planted deep in the soil of tomorrow's harvest. Every prayer you offer, every act of obedience, is a legacy building beyond your own time. You are the bridge between the faithful who came before and the hopeful who follow. The generations behind you have paved the way. Now it is your turn to build the road forward. Your voice still has power. Your footsteps still leave a mark. Your courage still moves mountains. The world may forget, but heaven remembers. The Eternal watches closely as your faith lights the way for those who will walk after you. Subscribe to claim your place in this prophetic chain. And if you still think your life doesn't matter, comment below. Let us remind you who you are. This is the final hour. Not a rehearsal, not a warning whispered through distant thunder. This is the moment where time narrows, where the veil thins and eternity leans in to listen. You are not fading away into quiet shadows. You are becoming flame, a fire forged in trials, sharpened by sorrow, and fueled by unwavering faith. Let your prayers punch holes in the sky, pierce through the silence, tear open heaven's gates, so that angels might hear and the earth tremble beneath your boldness. This is not the time for quiet footsteps or muted voices. The trumpet is not a metaphor, it's a moment away. The last prophetic sign has passed, the marker drawn in the heavens, undeniable, irreversible. Now comes the moment of decision. Will you rise, roar, and claim your place as a warrior in the spiritual battle? Will you cry out until your voice shakes the foundations of hell? Will you take up the arms given to you by the Spirit and stand firm, unyielding, unashamed? This is your call to courage, your call to consecration, your call to act as the guardian of the final flame. Do not shrink back into comfort. Do not trade your destiny for silence or ease. You were born for this fight. Your battle scars are medals of honor. Your faith is a sword that cuts through despair. Stand now, roar now, pray like never before. Subscribe to Pope Leo XIV Unveiled if you still have breath to fight. And if you do not, if you'd rather stay comfortable than consecrated, explain in the comments why. Know this: heaven heard you, and history will remember your answer.